Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Freshly Pressed. Today we have with us Wylder, all the way from Dayton, Ohio. Welcome to the show, Wylder.
Hey, thanks for having me. Hello, hello.
Um, Tell us a bit about yourself and give us a brief history about yourself and how you got into comics in the first place.
Sure. Um, yeah, my dad collected comics. My dad's a painter, and so he exposed me to a lot of comics and art books and graphic novels as a kid. And Yeah, he helped me build a collection. One of the first stories I think that really inspired me was the Ultimate Spider-Man run. Um, yeah, I think that still has like a big influence just on my uh, I don't know. It's had a big influence on my comic making for a long time. But yeah, as a kid, I made comics just like kind of goofy um, characters like uh, I don't know, like like basically just like a Spider-Man ripoff. I don't know, like there's one about like a kid that had superpowers and he cursed a lot and um, but yeah, in high school is when I actually made my first version of Awesome Man, but it was way different. Um, but I always really liked the character and wanted to come back to it, and so.
Hmm.
But I kind of took a break from comics. I still made them intermittently in college, but I went to college. I went to Cal Arts for experimental animation, so I was focused on that for the most part.
Hmm.
But yeah, I and then in the last few years, basically since I moved out to Ohio, I've just been focusing on comics again,
Right.
um, and just making awesome, man. And
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome. Obviously, Awesome Man is the main series that been working on, and
hmm
it looks incredible. Do you
thanks.
want to get into a bit of history about Awesome Man, about the how you got attracted to writing that character, and what inspired that?
Yeah. I mean, initially the idea, like way back when I first came up with it in high school, was that it was like, what if a guy got Superman powers, but he wasn't like, he didn't get them from birth. He's just some random dude who suddenly just got powers and he has no idea how to use them, and he's just completely irresponsible with them, and it's just that version of Awesome Man was really really stupid.
Yeah,
Like just
yeah,
it was really dumb, and it was really
yeah.
funny. But like the modern version, the one that I made the first issue in 2019. But then I started working on it like issue two and beyond in like 2021. Um, but the reimagining of the character was just um, I don't know. There's a lot of other things that I wanted to explore. I guess like there's it's about the future. It's about like corporations and
Hmm.
shadowy uh, government like groups and all this other stuff that he just gets wrapped up in as a result of getting smacked in the face with a meteor and transformed into a superhero. Um,
Yeah, it is
and
still incredibly funny though. Yeah.
thanks, yeah, yeah. I kept kind of the very short. Like I wanted to get through the origin like quickly in the original story, so he just gets hit with a meteor. He's a superhero. There's no real explanation for it or why. I think there is definitely a real there's like lore and reasons for it, and the narrator is clearly like behind it. But yeah, that's all stuff that'll get like revealed over time.
That's
Secrets of his
nice.
powers. What the hell's up with
Yeah.
this meteor that hit him in the face? And then there's a whole plot of following the meteor, because after he basically just leaves it on the ground and goes and like has some superhero adventures. But then Earthsec, which is the equivalent of like Shield or the Men in Black in this universe, their agents recover it, but then it gets stolen by this other weird entity. And there's just basically like there's this everyone's trying to get this meteor to figure out what how to unlock this crazy power. And
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, the Earthsec is just trying to contain all the anomalies. That's there's also a lot of parallels with Earthsec and like SCP, like containing weird ass anomalies. Super powered beings are anomalies that need to be like
Yeah.
separate from the public, kept secret, and then like utilized and weaponized if possible. You know.
Yeah. 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 Nice. No, I think the thing that stands out the most is almost like I think a lot of people are usually very tired of like explanations and things like uh why is why am I getting into this deep lore as a part of the origin story? Just makes sense to like just move on and then be the hero to be whatever they are.
Yeah,
You know
it's a mystery
yeah.
to be solved later. What the hell
Yeah.
is really going on?
Yeah, it's good
For
to say.
now,
That's not important
meteor.
right now.
For now, he gets hit in the meteor. He's a superhero. He hears a voice in his head telling him he's awesome, man. It's like, okay, I don't really
Yeah.
want to. I kind of just want to go home and play video games. But no,
That
all
was really
this
good.
he has all this unwanted attention. Yeah,
Nice.
he's a lot. I feel like he's a lot less irresponsible and more just like riddled with anxiety in in this modern version of us.
That's so good. So
Yeah,
is like I think even like the next generation, the Gen Z, they have so much anxiety. Like just
yeah.
not just that like social anxiety and um
Just anxiety about
just
the
being
world, everything, like every aspect of reality, just induces anxiety. I feel like just
exactly.
AI taking artist jobs. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into politics. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it kind of reflects people's state of mind pretty accurately that way.
Yeah, definitely reflects my state of mind. Yeah. It's an outlet for me for sure. It's like I can't really do anything, as an individual about all the crazy bullshit that's happening, but I guess I can try and write about it, make a weird story about it that like incorporates it. I mean, it also being it is kind of political. It's hard to separate that because there's literally a character called a Meritron that's like a living weapon of destruction.
Mm.
It's that's that's basically just used as like a drone bomber off in some conflicts out in other countries, and
Yeah.
but he's deployed to deal with Awesome Man because he's a too big of a threat for even like the Earthsec agents to really deal with.
Mm.
So yeah, that's what happens in issue 3, and it goes very
Yeah.
poorly for everyone involved.
No, that's really good. I like you said, like I think it's very hard to separate politics and real world
Yeah,
from a story that's actually about people. So like it's every story has to not has to have it, but we always almost always end up having a little aspect of that in pretty much every story that we do, right? Whether you
yeah,
do it, for building the world, or you know uh, do it as a character, or main plot of the story. But yeah, it creeps in.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice, nice. So do you I like the art style in Awesome Man is very like it's very much what the kind of artwork I love. I love things that are very like that have a very hand drawn kind of feel to it, and
Oh yeah.
they don't have. I don't want to say like I want to say like they have a very kinetic feel to it. They're very like accessible in that sense. Like not that I can do it, but I kind of when I look at it, I feel like I can also draw something like that, where it's a very accessible form of art that you have. So it connects to me at a very different level in that sense. um so yeah, great work on the art, by the way. So it's
Thank you.
really, yeah,
I appreciate
beautiful
that.
detail. Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
It's like the character style is very like cartoony, and that's intentional because it's because I come from like an animation background, and I like someday I want to animate all these. I have animated some of these characters, but like I feel like it's the ultimate version of this will be in animation. Um, but the
mm,
designs are all made with that in mind, and also just it's just an aesthetic that I like. Um, and I feel like I can get a lot of emotion and uh, yeah, I don't know, just depth from these these goofy, cartoony looking characters. It's kind of deceptive in a way because you see the like cartoony art style and you think it's like oh it's like a fun like kid superhero story. It's like no, it's very dark.
yeah.
There's a lot of profanity.
Yeah, yeah.
I think an issue. Oh man, yeah. It gets pretty brutal
Mm,
later on. Issue 3 is already like
it is,
pretty
yeah.
intense. Um, yeah, but I didn't. Yeah,
No,
it's not. I think I want to just. I want to delve. I don't want to be restricted in whatever like topics I want to explore in the story. So it had to be. I had to make it for mature audiences. I couldn't make it like teen or uh, for kids or anything like that.
yeah, yeah. No, I think I see a good parallel to, like, say, one of the Adult Swim cartoons.
Yeah,
If you, yeah, uh, like,
yeah. Big Venture Brothers fan for sure. Like Super
exactly
Jail, Rick and Morty, of
what
course.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've ever seen Metalocalypse, but
a little bit. Yeah, it's fun.
yeah, it's fun, right? Yeah. There's
I love
I
Smiling Friends right now. Smiling Friends is so
Smiling
good.
Friends. I have to check it out. There
Yeah,
was this really underrated comedy. I don't think it got really popular, but it got 2 seasons. I watched it like a couple year last year, I think. It was called Fired on Mars.
I haven't
Uh,
heard of that.
yeah, it stars Luke Wilson. Yeah, it stars Luke Wilson in the lead, and it has a very fun premise. Like it's about like somebody having a mundane job on Mars. Like this guy is a graphic designer. He's just sent to Mars as a graphic designer. He
Yeah,
gets fired, but there's no like the company can't afford to send him back because it's too expensive to send him back to Earth. So he's just staying on Mars on this like this outstation and just living this like slacker life. Like yeah, it like he's not homeless or anything. He's just sitting there like just pondering about his life, and then yeah, just goes on wacky adventures like this, finds like an underground revolution brewing, and things like that. So yeah, it gets a bit crazy in the second half
it's
of the
just
yeah.
it's funny. That sounds. I mean, I know it's like bad, but at the same time, it sounds like freedom. Like he could just make whatever art he wants now. He doesn't have to make graphic art for like, I don't know, whatever like corporate logos they need on Mars, or design flags for them. He could just start making comics on Mars. First
I
Martian
know.
produced indie comic. Missed opportunity.
Exactly.
He got free room and board. He's got food, I assume.
Yeah,
He's all set.
yeah, exactly.
He's living the dream. Maybe a little socially isolated. Have to deal with the same people.
Yeah, yeah. No, I kind of liked it. I think there was some weird quality to it, in the sense that, like, uh, obviously always like underdog characters. They're always very relatable. That's why I liked Awesome Man as well. Like the lead character is an everyday person. Like
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, anyone on
Guy
the street.
Everyman.
Yeah.
His name is literally Guy Everyman. It's a little on the nose.
Yeah, it goes from Guy Everyman to Awesome Man, which is like, yeah, both on the nose, but yeah.
It's very, very on the nose. Yeah, tongue in
Yeah.
cheek kind of thing.
Nice. Nice. But yeah.
Yeah, he's an everyman, but he also like he has some family history that's like relevant. His dad is like the scientist who activated this device on M Day, which is kind of the backdrop for the whole series. Where this like in 2024, knock on wood, but in Awesome Man in 2024, three giant monsters rose up from like the Earth's crust and attacked the world. And the one that attacked the west coast of the United States was destroyed by a device that Awesome Man's dad activated.
Oh.
So there's like this. So he's tied to the past in that way, but it's not like. Um, but it's something that affected him profoundly, like that event. I mean, it affected the whole world. Obviously, there's like a scene in the issue 3 starts with showing like the rebuilding process, how ominous basically became this mega power that has this space elevator in the center of the city.
Yep.
Um, and Olimar Omnis is like he's keeping tabs on what's going on, and he's kind of like the Lex Luthor to Awesome Man Superman in a way. This
Yeah. Yeah.
enigmatic corporate overlord. But it's a little different because it's in the future, and he is like a trillionaire. It's not even it's beyond billionaires now.
Yeah.
It's and also it there's a lot of conspiracy lore plays a part in Awesome Man.
Mm, mm,
Like uh, it's revealed later on. I think in issue like 6 or 7 that like reptilians are a thing.
mm.
That like Olimar is like. And also in the beginning of issue 4, Olimar is like in this call with a bunch of other shady like Illuminati figures and like trying to spin the whole Ameritron attack so that they don't have to be held accountable for
Yeah.
the giant star shaped crater in the city that killed thousands of people. Um, but yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Issue 4 is it reveals a lot about the
Mm.
that kind of like what Olimar's deal is, I guess. And the thorn in his side, Rebel Rabbit, this other character.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, tell us a bit about the volume the volume one that's coming up, and like what
Yeah.
what are the story arcs in that?
Yeah. So issues 1 through 5 will be in volume 1. Um, so issue 1 is like origin story. He deals with he deals with a gang, and then the cops show up, and he runs from the cops, and then there's this crazy battle at the Staples Center, which I made the comic in 2019 before it was renamed to the Crypto.com Center, and I couldn't be bothered to go and change it. So it's just a different universe. Don't worry about it. But yeah, and then the issue one ends with him being captured by police, just tackled by a horde of cops. Uh, and so then issue two, he deals with the cops. They're extremely corrupt. They're like torturing him, trying to get information out of him, and he sees the gang he ran into earlier, the Crossbone Gang. He sees the same tattoo of like their logo on the arm of the police chief, as he's like trying to get him to reveal his real name. And so then he's like, "Screw this, I'm out of here." He just like smashes through the wall and flies home. Um, but yeah, it's interesting because that's actually a thing. Also, is cop gangs. There's all these
Wow.
stories in LA about like different police departments where they straight up have like they're straight up like organized gangs where they have like tattoos that they recognize each other, and they have to like do crazy stuff to like join, and there's like all this there's a lot of protests against it.
Oh wow.
it yeah, but
Oh, I had never heard of that. But
yeah, it's scary stuff. The fact that law enforcement is they're just official gangs. They're sanctioned gangs.
wow.
Pretty
Is
scary
it?
stuff.
Oh, okay. I've watched this documentary about uh Tupac and Biggie a long time ago, and
Yeah,
some of that alluded to that, like, uh, but I was not sure if it's the same thing that you're talking about.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, and I'm sure it's not just in L.A. Like L.A., there's articles and stuff about it about the tattoos. I think there's like 20 plus different known police gangs. And they have symbols that you can identify them, like the tattoos and stuff. But I'm sure they're in other parts of the country as well. I'm sure they're. It wouldn't surprise me at all, just knowing how corrupt cops can be.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Hmm. I wonder why it's not that popular in popular culture as well. So it's good on you that you actually started incorporating that in the story. So
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's always a disconnect between like cops in fiction and cops in real life. They're either it's because they're I don't know. There's a lot of like just like I'm not saying like I'm not like complete like I'm not saying there's no decent people that are cops out there. Obviously, like I'm not, but there is a lot of corruption. There's a lot of police brutality, and there's a lot of unaccountability. With like murders and
mm,
stuff, and they just get a slap on the wrist, get to walk away from it. Like I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, like I totally understand. Like police are not going to be like Brooklyn 99.
Yeah,
They're
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's like a lot of they call it propaganda, where the police are just all doing their jobs and there's nothing slimy going on. Like I like the Wire because it actually I feel like is more realistic about them
mm,
bending the rules to get what they want, and like I don't know, they're not perfect people at least, and some of them are like taking bribes and working with gangs and stuff. Like
mm.
Wire's such a good show.
Yeah,
Highly recommend if you haven't seen it.
yeah. I've seen it. It's lovely. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen. It's a
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just like after watching that, like it's hard to go to other shows because Wire feels so real. It just literally like the way they make the dialogue. It's just it sounds so authentic. It's crazy.
Yeah, 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 very true. Even like everything else about the show, like the acting and all the technical aspects of it are pretty incredible as well. Like it's just a really really well done show.
Yeah, absolutely. I still need to finish it. I'm on like season 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, it's also early work of Idris Elba, who's one of my favorite actors ever. So
Oh yeah, yeah, he's great, man.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, I think this is a good segue. We can probably get into top five pop culture things that you like.
Sure. Just out of everything.
Out of everything, it's such a
Top.
broad question. Like it could be comics or games or movies
Oh man,
or TV
just
shows or
top culture things. Period. That's tough. I
okay.
might,
Just I
I
think
might need,
I can
I
make
need
it
to, I'm
easier.
gonna have to, have to brainstorm a little bit. I feel it's even when it's like just movies, like even if it's just comics, it's like hard to narrow it down. It's like everything. Okay.
Pick
Well, I have
one
to
of
put
each.
Princess. I have to put Princess. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'll do like a movie, a comic, uh, an
A
animated
TV
movie,
show. Yeah.
TV show, and then I don't know, mystery for the fifth. I'm not sure what the fifth would be. Um, I gotta say Princess Mononoke though, because that's like my
Hmm.
favorite animated movie. That's definitely
Yeah.
up there. Yeah, one of the most
Such a good
influential
movie.
movies. Um,
Do you watch? Have you watched like obviously all Studio Ghibli movies? Do you like a big fan?
yeah, yeah, I love them. I've seen all of them except Boy and the Heron, the most
Oh
recent
yeah, I
one.
haven't seen Boy in the Heron as well. Yeah, I have to
Yeah,
catch up on that.
I really want to watch it. I should have seen it in theaters when I had the chance, but I didn't.
That's my one of my favorite. I think what's my favorite Studio Ghibli one? Uh, I think my neighbor Totoro is probably my favorite out of the whole catalog.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
it's a good
just
one.
deals with emotions in such a different way. But that's probably every one of their movies. Yeah, yeah, awesome,
I'm
cool.
gonna
Next one.
go. Yes, I'm gonna go. Oh man, it's tough. It's really tough. uh, See, I had one in mind, but then I drifted to another one, and then another one, and now I'm like, wait, what
Oh,
was that
okay.
original one that I was thinking of again? Uh,
Are you thinking about a movie?
I think it was a TV series.
Okay. Well, you did say Wired.
Wire is really good.
Yeah.
Wire is really good. Oh man, I just saw this animated movie.
Or maybe we can move on and you can come back to it if you
Yeah,
remember.
you know what? I'm gonna brainstorm, and before the end of the
Yeah.
podcast, I'll come up with a list.
That's cool. That's
I'll
cool.
think
That's
about it.
nice.
It's tough though. There's so many different,
Yeah.
so many choices that I have to narrow down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. We can. The funny you said like you made a ripoff of Spider-Man when you were growing up. Like
Yeah.
when I was growing up, I actually uh, created a bootleg version of Independence Day in a
Oh,
comic.
really? That's awesome.
Yeah, a friend of mine and I was we just sat together and just drew the whole thing panel to panel, and we were like, yeah, this looks fun.
Yeah. I feel like as a kid, you just are like I like this thing. I'm gonna make it now. Like I want to just tell my own version of it.
Yeah. Even then, like I think one of my favorite things growing up was I have this thing for characters with fire coming out of their head. So both Ghost Rider and Firestorm were probably one of my like all time favorite characters from comic
Oh, that's
books.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you like the
Um, uh,
movies, the Ghost Rider movies with Nick Cage?
I have thoughts about them, but I do love Nick Cage as Ghost Rider. If
Yeah.
if there's one person I want to play Ghost Rider, it's Nick Cage. He gets the crazy side of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, who could be the next Ghost Rider? I don't know. It's too hard to make it into a movie. It's too crazy. I would say, but I don't know.
I feel like Guillermo del Toro could make a good Ghost Rider movie.
That's a good idea.
I feel like
I
that's
would.
right up his alley. Like
Yeah,
demons and monsters and stuff.
yeah.
The
I
whole
I
gothic style.
as much as I think people hated the second Ghost Rider movie, I actually kind of dug it. Like I felt like they got the aesthetic right in that film. Like
Hmm.
the story was pretty shit. It was pretty bad. Like everything about it was so basic and bare bones that I was like, why did you even bother with like the plot this thin? But they got the aesthetic right with like obviously it has Idris Elba again.
Yeah.
Doing like some amazing stuff. But again, like that's how Ghost Rider should be. The only problem in that second movie was there was too less of Ghost Rider riding a bike. So like that was my biggest complaint. Yeah. Just get all the choppers from Ghost Rider 1 and then put them in Ghost Rider 2. That should make it better.
Yeah. Double
I
the
don't want him.
flaming bike sequences.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't want him driving a truck. I want him riding like a cool bike. Yeah.
All right. I think I have a list.
Nice.
I have a list.
Let's
Princess
get through
Mononoke. Princess Mononoke. Um, the Bungie Halo games. I can't
it.
decide between one and Reach. they're all great. Um, the Culture series,
Mm.
which is a sci-fi book series by Ian M. Banks. It was
Mm.
probably the most influential book series I've read
Mm.
by far. And then fourth is uh, Hunter, the
Mm.
anime. That one, that was also a big influence on me.
Nice.
And then the last one is tied between Invincible and One Punch Man.
Nice. Nice.
I
What
couldn't pick between the two, but
you shouldn't.
yeah. And I'm talking about the comics for those, the manga and the comic of Invincible. The show's great too, but it's not finished yet. So
Oh, I have One Punch Man on my
oh, you
back.
do?
Yeah, there's One Punch Man and there's Full Metal Alchemist here.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
still need to watch Full Metal Alchemist. It's on the list.
I got an artist from Japan to do this for me, so it's
That's
pretty
cool.
incredible. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't really
I
see it at all, but it's
yeah.
cool.
When one do you know like when One Punch Man came out in manga, there was so much criticism about the art of One Punch
Oh
Man.
yeah,
Like everyone hated it, and it was like this is perfect for what One Punch Man wants to do, like the art
yeah.
style and like
What are you talking
yeah.
about? The webcomic or the manga?
It could be about the webcomic, I think. It
Yeah,
was
because
yeah.
the webcomic's still going on. The the webcomic art is very goofy. One
Yeah.
is really good at telling stories, but his art is very simplified in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. But
Oh
then
the
they have freaking Murata, who is like an absolute modern master wizard of manga, making some of the most mind blowing scenes I've ever seen in
man.
any comic or or form of media like that. Man, some of the stuff that happens in the manga is so insane. I can't wait till they catch up to it in the show, and I really hope they do it justice because season 2 was very mediocre. It was such a
Yeah,
letdown after the extremely high bar set by season 1, but still, like, they didn't even try to reach for that bar. They just settled for like
yeah.
subpar, mediocre, like, I don't know.
I don't
The
know what
timing,
was
the
on with
timing,
season
man.
two.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
The animation and the timing was so bad. There's like this one part that I was really looking forward to where um, Garo was fighting Metal Bat,
yeah,
and he's getting amped up because Garo's like beating the crap out of him, but it's like just making him stronger, and then he like catches Garo off guard with the speed of like one of his metal bat swings, and then it zooms out, and you see like poof, like these cars getting like launched into the air because of the force
yeah,
of the impact. So I was like, oh, that's
yeah,
so cool! I love
yeah,
the
yeah,
like the aesthetic of that. And then when it happened in the show, it was like the timing was so weird. It didn't feel impactful at all. It like totally just sucked the momentum out of every like cool moment in the fight. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
I could have
yeah,
done this better, man.
yeah, yeah.
Come on.
I think the art also gets more and more complex with more with like as it goes along in the further issues as well. Uh,
Yeah.
in the manga, yeah, I was talking about
Yeah.
webcomic. I don't know why I got mixed it up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
manga's just Japanese comics. That's
yeah, yeah. No, no. I was I distinctly remember like borrowing all like first six issues from the library here. Like our local library has all the issues of One Punch Man, and I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, this is awesome. So I just got all like the first six issues and just read them like right over the weekend. I just couldn't stop because it's just so good. Like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
amazing.
one of the few mangas I'm keeping up with when they put out new. I think I'm a few chapters behind right now,
Yeah,
but I'm always looking forward to it, to catching up, seeing what
I'm always behind.
crazy. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot to get through. The whole Monster Association arc is really long,
Yeah,
but the payoff is like I can't even really put into words how insane the payoff is.
yeah, yeah. I think the big thing that they dropped the ball with sorry, the season two of One Punch Man was like they just the pacing of it was so off. Like they just couldn't like
Yeah,
figure out how to carry the story forward. Uh, yeah, it just yeah, I don't know. It
yeah,
just made me so sore. Like it's such a great story. Like how could you just yeah again
yeah. They didn't do it justice, but
now
I'm hoping that'll change with season 3. I'm just gonna, it's alright. They already did it. There's nothing that can be done about it. And
are they
the coolest moments of the arc are ahead. So hopefully they go ham for the animation and to make up
yeah
for season 2.
yeah
Although I don't
exactly
know what studio's working on it. Was it Madhouse for season 1? I think it was Madhouse. Madhouse is always killing it.
yeah yeah. Do you like? Are they making a season three? Because they keep saying that they are, but then it doesn't go anywhere. Like it's been going on for like a couple of years now. So
Yeah, takes
yeah.
time. Season 2 took forever. I remember.
Hmm. Yeah. What's the what are you watching nowadays? What's the anime you're watching nowadays?
Well, I just finished Yu Yu Hakusho, which took a while. My friend recommended that to me, and that's the same. That's also Tagashi, the creator of Hunter x Hunters, and I'm a big Hunter x Hunter fan, so I thought I'd check
Nice.
it out.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and that was cool. Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
I definitely like Hunter x Hunter more. I could tell like he's more like refined, I guess, in Hunter x Hunter. Like some of the elements are still there in Yu Yu Hakusho, and it's like a cool show, and it's charming, and I really like the characters a lot. Like Kuwabara is hilarious. Um, and but yeah, and then I watched Dungeon Meshi as well, Delicious in Dungeon.
Oh,
Show's really good. Highly recommend it. It
nice.
was like yeah, I don't know. It sounds it's just really entertaining, and uh it's like each episode is like a really well crafted like D&D adventure, but it also has like all these like um biology like elements like like they go into depth on like the anatomy of the creatures and like how to cook them properly like when they fight them. Like the food always just looks so freaking delicious.
Yeah, yeah,
um and then the characters are really interesting as well. They all have a very funny team dynamic.
yeah.
And I relate a lot to the main guy Leos. He's just like hyper fixated on like like eating monsters and monster anatomy and biology and discovering like how they work and whatnot.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's very entertaining and it goes to some crazy places.
Wow,
It's
that's amazing.
yeah. It's funny because it seems like a kind of a like lighthearted show, but it gets pretty intense. It gets pretty bloody and crazy.
That's awesome. I think what
Yeah,
was that? Even like speaking of food, like Food Wars was like it seems like it's very light-hearted in parts, and then it gets very heavy sometimes as well.
yeah,
Um, but I absolutely loved Food Wars. Like it's just one of my favorite animes when it came out. So yeah.
yeah.
Hey, have you watched it? All of it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you must. It's really good. It's not
Yeah,
what you expect it to be. Like it's very, very different to uh like if you read I don't think any of the blurbs or descriptions do it justice because when you watch it it's a different level of crazy. So yeah, I think
yeah.
it's a really fun watch. You must definitely watch it. Hmm.
What's the like elevator pitch for the show,
What's the
or just
elevator
like
pitch for?
just brief description of the show? Like, what's it
Hmm.
about?
It is about I've completely
Is it like
forgotten about it. It is about chefs.
competing with each other to make
It is
awesome
about
dishes
them.
or something?
It
Okay.
is. And a large part of show is about them making really creative, fun dishes. And, like, they're so beautiful to look at. It also has a lot of fan service. A lot of
Oh,
fan
okay.
service. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, a lot of anime has that. Dungeon
Yeah.
Meshi does
Yeah.
not. It's just refreshing.
Yeah. I usually like it without fan service, most of my
Yeah.
anime, but I could make an exception for that. And this two anime, I did, I can have an exception for that and Devilman. Um,
Oh man, I love
yeah,
Devilman Crybaby.
it is so
That was in my
underrated.
mind. It didn't make the list, but it was on my mind because that show is really crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
That, that ending fucked me up, man. I wasn't ready.
No, I I don't think Netflix has been able to reach anywhere near that level since, like in their anime game. So
I don't know. What about Edge Runners though? That was pretty good.
yeah, I haven't watched it. I haven't watched that one.
Oh, you should check it out. It's really good.
Okay, okay. I
I
would
don't know
say,
if
hmm,
I think it's comparable to Devilman Crybaby. They're
okay.
both really well made.
The one that
I think
came
Dungeon
really close is called Pluto. Have you seen
Pluto.
that show?
No, I haven't.
It's a noir detective kind of anime,
Okay.
which is really interesting. Yeah, it is about investigating a murder, but gets really crazy from that. Yeah, it's really well done.
Cool.
Yeah, you were talking about Dungeon Master. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think Dungeon Meshi's on Netflix as well. Delicious in
Okay,
Dungeon.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll have to check it out. You can
Yeah.
you send me all those recommendations in an email after this, so I can go and check it out.
Yeah, I'll send them to you on Twitter.
Yeah, awesome. We're coming close to time, but I would love for you to, make a pitch about Awesome Man. Just take the stage for 5 minutes and just talk about Awesome Man.
Sure.
And your upcoming volume. Where can people get it from? All that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome Man's a adult sci-fi comedy action superhero saga. Uh, Takes place in the future. It's got I'm trying to think. If you like One Punch Man, Invincible, and Adventure Bros, um, then you'll probably like Awesome Man. It's in that
Nice.
vein. Maybe throw a little bit of Simpsons, Futurama, Invader Zim in there too. Uh,
Nice.
but yeah, it's very absurd. There's a lot of crazy lore, crazy world building, conspiracy lore, robots, AI. Um, it's got all sorts of stuff. Yeah, the first volume, it's 5 issues, all hand drawn, hand inked. Um, it is in black and white, but there are some colored. There's some the covers are colored, and those are in the book as well as some bonus art and pages. It's going to be on Amazon June 20th. 35 bucks. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Also, patrons, if you're a Patreon supporter for the Omnis Entertainment Patreon, there will be a discount.
Nice.
So I think I'm going to do like a 10% discount for patrons. So yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, the art's stunning. It's really beautifully well done. The story is really good. It's funny. It's dark. It's very relatable. It has a lot of issues that we see and talk about in day to day life, but it's also all done in a very tongue in cheek manner. So it's a really good book. Yeah, don't
yeah. Thanks so much. I
yeah.
appreciate that.
All
Yeah,
the
you can
best
also
for.
read the comic. I
Oh,
was just gonna
sorry.
say you can also read the comic online. Global Comics, awesome man, right there in the picture.
Awesome.
Yeah, all 8 issues available to read.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, thanks so much
amazing.
for having me.
No, no worries at all. It was great having you here, and all the best for the launch of the first
Appreciate it.
volume.
Yeah, thanks so
Yeah,
much.
great. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.